Plutoburns, and welcome to Eagleland. Say, did you know that being flexible is a superpower? Hey, it works for that tosspot Mr. Fantastic, so why not me? But enough about my acceptance into the Justice League of Supercritics. Today's manga is a romance manga that none of you have ever heard of. I once again dive into my enormous back catalog of obscure shit that doesn't matter to cover one of the myriad of minor mangas marketed to mildly meat-headed matriarchs. Today's Hana ni Arashi is a simple little tale of a super rich frat douche who falls in love with a perfectly normal, average, everyday girl who is just a little bit more flexible than most people. So naturally, when a man says he's gonna take her life while waving a gun around, she tries to kick him in the duodenum. But the gun was fake, which shouldn't matter to Japan's gun laws, but whatever, and dispenses a flower instead. Shades McDouchershin declares that she shall be his wife and he's taking her home with him. She gets no choice in the matter. Can we go back to when the romantic interest of this manga was a murderous gangster instead of a sex slaver? No? Well, Miss Fantastic has no intention of being carted off to Johnny Cage's harem and makes a break for it. Right out the window of a 3-story building. But she lands without a scratch, and when all the members of the Stereotypes Club get bribed to bring her in, she has to reveal her ultimate superpower, being flexible. Hey, don't laugh, or else when the yoga-crats take over the world, you'll be forced to work in the spandex factories while outdated jazzercise videos are playing on a loop. And so begins a long, drawn-out chase all over the school while Johnny Cage's bodyguard clones try and catch a teenage girl with superpowers. Eventually, Miss Incredible gets cornered in the infirmary, which has had its door reinforced with dwarven mithril. But then Cue Ball interrupts the forced romantic moment with a pack of dynamite he found lying around. Dynamite! Shade protects them both with his power of money, I mean love. And now the symbolic clock that was counting down to when Specs had to leave is broken, so now he can come back and court her whenever he wants. Praise the sun! In the follow-up chapter, Cyclops invades Miss Incredible's school life and generally makes her miserable. He kidnaps her for a date while warning her that because he be so stinkin' rich and valuable that he is constantly under assassin attack. When she jumps out of a speeding car to escape his bizarreness, she gets kidnapped by a red-haired assassin. But the pink assassin never expected that the great hero would come in to stop him, and he would be defeated by the combined efforts of the great hero and the splatter gun-wielding maiden, and he would be forever banished to comedy villain sidekick, just like Iago. So I'm just gonna stop recounting the plot of this manga, because it has a very bad case of dashing knight syndrome. That's where a plot neglects to have actual character moments in favor of chivalrous acts of valor imposed by plot events. For example, in the next chapter, Ms. Fantastic gets kidnapped, again, by a business rival of Specs who was just really jelly and figured the best way to get even was by forcefully marrying a woman he has never met before. And then there's the invading woman and blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's actually kind of amazing how much the plot revolves around giant set-piece moments and has nothing else to offer. It's kind of admirable how blatantly pandering it is to the rescued by rich guy fantasy with really nothing else narratively to back it up. But it does have some pretty hilarious characters. Miss Fantastic is in, like, super hilarious self-denial about being able to call herself normal. No matter how many impossible feats of strength she performs, she continues to call herself normal. Oh, you need this Christmas tree moved? Yep. Oh no, I'm gonna be late for school! Alley-oop and through the doorframe. I beat the teacher! Shit, someone pushed me off the balcony! 10-point landing! Of course, her she-Hulkian strength is quite handy for getting her out of various scrapes, including escaping the previously mentioned world's second most hapless assassin.
All passengers, as part of our customer service, we will now fill the train with hot natural spring water.
Huh? Specs is less interesting. His rich jokes are better comically timed than Uran, but he's still a tired shtick. Ooh, look, I'm an out-of-touch rich person who drags his wealth into inappropriate circumstances. Point and laugh! Now, his long-suffering army of cloned bodyguards? That's funny. These guys pop in and out of the backgrounds, and I swear to God they are the same person. They all have the same damn hairstyle and glasses and face, and as far as I can tell, they only have one name. They move in unison and aren't very good at their job either. I think you know what reference I'm about to pull out of my hat. I'm also not entirely sure they don't actually die at some points in the manga, which would really undercut the light tone of the manga if not for the fact they appear to be vat-grown and interchangeable. Which certainly has advantages. And it all concludes with a big dumb he's been kidnapped and we save him, but then he saves the girl by sacrificing his life, except not really, and also we have to prove ourselves to his rich assholier dad. And then it's done after 9 chapters, which was kind of surprising. I'm not saying there was much that could be done with these character gimmicks, but I've seen these exact same ideas dragged on for a lot longer. Special A, cough, unconvincing. Let's end with an artwork discussion. It's actually pretty solid for a shoujo. Backgrounds aren't terrible and the panel layout is good. I actually really appreciate that Miss Fantastic is drawn pretty damn normal. Nothing gimmicky about her design at all. She is by all appearances a background character until she starts flexing. The male designs I am less fond of. All the noteworthy male characters basically look the damn same, even Specs' dad. It's also not the standard attractive male design, really. Hard to nail down, but they all look a little too slimy to be main love interests. Only exception is Baldy here, who is amazing despite not really having a name. He pops in and out of the story to make witty observations. I think he's the author's surrogate. Now I must apologize to my audience in this case. Normally when a manga is available for sale in the US, I'll have a copy on hand to demonstrate that fact, but I was not able to get a copy of this manga in time for the review. The mangaka is Takagi Shigeyoshi. She's got a couple other works, the majority of them yaoi. Till next time, I'm Plutoburns, and this has been Eagleland.